They are parents, they are children, they are orphans. And it is very important, and I was glad to see that this was affirmed again and again by the G20, that we do not close our hearts to these victims.
Over the last 100 years, civil unrest, wars and environmental disasters have led to the forced migration of large populations. These situations are hard to predict, and neighbouring countries often have to cope with the large influx of people. Said countries are often unprepared for these displaced people, which can lead to the formation of refugee camps. The Yemeni conflict is a clear example of this occurring. This civil war has led thousands of people to seek refuge within neighbouring countries. Upon arriving, host countries cannot adequately support the additional population, which leads to inferior living conditions. At the same time, there are severe ongoing droughts in Somalia, Kenya and Ethiopia. Aid organisations around the world, such as the UNHCR, have come together to help finance and organise the construction of makeshift refugee camps. Unfortunately, these camps are only intended to be used in the short term and can rarely accommodate the amount of people that arrive. Recent studies have shown that these camps are often in place for much longer durations. The average refugee camp, by today's estimates, will be in operation for approximately 17 years or longer. This leads to very poor living conditions for refugees who have to combat the scarcity of fresh water. In these camps, the dense population can encourage the spread of diseases, which, amid other health concerns, can be encouraged through poor hygiene standards and the lack of suitable sewer systems. These issues have been once again brought to the public attention in light of the recent geopolitical instability in Northern Africa and the Middle East. The Djibouti Relief Scheme was conceptualized by Gaea, an engineering consultancy aiming to provide relief to those that have been displaced from their homes and need to seek refuge. Gaea has plans to implement this scheme as a dynamic concept, which can be utilized by organizations across the world to provide shelter to those in need. The following video will introduce the Gaea project team and outline the scope of the project and give an insight to the design considerations that make this project so unique. Gaea found that most refugee camps around the world were not designed to be the permanent structures that they have become over the years. As such, it was Gaea's intent to provide a medium to long-term refugee shelter solution which had the quality of life of the inhabitants at the heart of its design. We at Gaea have the aspiration to improve the quality of life for refugees around the world, while providing economically viable solutions for governments and aid organisations around the world. Gaea's Djibouti Relief Scheme design comprises of the following key considerations: providing bespoke design solutions that balances cultural needs, affordability and longevity to enable the construction of safe, strong and sustainable refugee camps. Effective design, including considerations in modular design, speed of build, adaptability to local conditions and environments, and cultural needs. Design of every aspect of the camp, including infrastructure, mechanical and electrical services, waste and freshwater provision, etc. Logistical considerations for temporary works, sourcing of suppliers and construction supervision. And finally, applying systems engineering thinking to ensure we build communities, not structures. Ultimately, the purpose of this project is to provide dignity through design. The project program includes 3 pre-construction phases. These pre-construction phases include the completion of detailed designs, gaining planning permission, and finally the tendering phase. These pre-construction phases will begin on the 1st of August 2017 and will conclude at the end of August next year. The final camp handover has been scheduled for mid-April 2027. Continued wars and crises around the world have highlighted that there is a distinct lack of dedicated civil engineering support for the inception and design of refugee camps. This led to Gaea being established in 2017 as a multidisciplinary engineering design consultancy to fill this apparent gap in the industry. The team is comprised of experienced engineers in the civil, coastal and mechanical disciplines. At Gaea, the following core values are integral to everything we do: honesty and integrity, respect, ethical behaviour, cultural diversity and innovation. These core values are encompassed in our company objective: protecting the innocent, sheltering the vulnerable and providing a glimmer of hope that tomorrow will be better. The health of the refugees is of utmost importance for the refugee camp and is therefore a top priority for Gaea. The health plan for the refugee camp comprises of 1 health screening station at the entrance of the camp, 6 health centres, 1 per residential segment, and 1 hospital located in the centre of the camp. The entrance and administration department offers a homely and welcoming atmosphere. Laboratories across the hospital will offer quick and reliable diagnostics that will result in hundreds of saved lives. A Nightingale ward style has been chosen to maximise the space available and also provide a level of camaraderie and dormitory feel. Hundreds of hours have gone into the conceptual design phase to produce a wholesome and complete facility. The centralised location of the hospital was chosen as it ensures that the facility is equidistant from all 6 sectors. The building will present a 2-level floor plan located on a profile of 100 metres by 40 metres. The hospital will offer 300 beds across the 2 levels. Several surgeries located on the 2 levels will offer a clean environment where all kinds of medical procedures will be performed. The accident and emergency department will be vital in cases that present high level of emergency and risk. A dialysis centre has been included to aid patients that present impaired renal functions. The kitchen will ensure that workers and patients are fed in an appropriate manner. The imaging unit will aid the diagnostic process and consist of MRI and CT scan facilities. The pharmacy will provide life-saving medication for patients as well as outpatients. Careful considerations have been given to the ventilation and electrical systems to ensure the well-being and safety of all hospital patients. A key part of Gaea's refugee camp is the community centre, where people can meet, learn and socialise in a stress-free environment. Gaea will be constructing 6 of these centres across the camp. These community centres have been designed in detail based on standards and guidelines given by the UNHCR to ensure that they can properly meet the needs of the people. With guidance and aid from specialist labourers, the community centres will be built by the people for the people. The focal point of the community centre is a large multifunctional hall which will allow a variety of social functions to take place. This hall was designed to standards laid out by Sports England, although in each of the community centres rooms will be available for the express purpose of community meetings. The community centres shall include large lounge areas with plentiful tables and chairs for socialising and communal eating. Kitchens will be located in each building from which cooking classes or a cafe could be run. Libraries will be available in each community centre alongside computers with network access. Wi-Fi may not be initially provided but can be installed at a later date. To bring everything together, an office is needed for administrative purposes where various facilities can be booked and managed. The refugee camp is anticipated to host a total of 15,000 children. To prevent the children missing out on getting an education, Gaea has proposed primary and secondary schools across the camp. This will help the children continue their education with as little disruption as possible. The proposed secondary school has been designed to include a 2-storey building and a football playing field to keep the children engaged and promote a healthy outdoor lifestyle. The schools will also incorporate additional educational facilities such as a main hall, library, quiet reading area, and classrooms. The residential shelter design was inspired by the historical architecture of the region. It was one of Gaea's key goals to guarantee that residents will feel perfectly accommodated in their new homes and ensure that their cultural expectations and needs are met. The residential housing units were designed to use compressed earth blocks made of material from the local environment, achieving sustainability when compared to importing materials. By utilizing these blocks, the transportation to site will be minimal, resulting in a reduction of overall emissions. The roofs of the housing units have been designed to keep the harsh environment outside, using flat-packed structural insulated panels. The shape of the housing is modular and, combined with an efficient plan of the building, enables a maximum usage of the area designated to the camp. The design standards were adapted from the available refugee camp guidelines and used in conjunction with the available design standards to synergize Gaea's company ethos into the overall design considerations. One of the deliverables provided with the project is a fully parametric software package which is able to calculate camp statistics for a host of locations. This software uses a plethora of UNHCR standards to determine the required characteristics for potential locations for future Gaea camps located across the globe. Furthermore, the software has multiple pages, each defining a host of variables. Different house shapes and dimensions are inputted, which generates the number of refugees in each hut and the total number. At this stage, the software allows the user to specify a comfort factor to the design, aimed at improving the quality of living for camp inhabitants by increasing the space and number of facilities per inhabitant. Optional buildings, including schools, marketplaces, and recreational areas, are able to be added to the total camp statistics through the use of a simple tick box selection. The final page of the software generates the complete set of statistics for the camp, which can be used as a guideline for future projects. This software has the ability to transform the time-consuming job of design into a sleek and user-friendly process. Renewable energy is incorporated into the camp to promote sustainability. 2007 solar panels are located on top of the hospital, which is able to provide sufficient energy for the backup generator located within the plant room. We at Gaea feel that the benefits of our design will more than outweigh the initial investment required for the implementation of our design. Our innovative camp layout, in combination with our high focus on cultural needs and health, well-being and comfort of the camp inhabitants, completely distinguishes the Djibouti relief scheme from other refugee camps around the world. Furthermore, the design software created by Gaea is a unique design tool that will allow for the quick and easy design of further refugee camps around the world. Here at Gaea, we strive to build communities, not structures. Where possible, Gaea has cemented its image as a sustainable designer by working in accordance with all valid BREEAM considerations. Gaea strives to incorporate all of the 10 BREEAM principles within its main design deliverables. The costing for this project was estimated using Gaea's expertise and professional costing guides. The values are broken into the following design deliverables. Therefore, the total cost for the Djibouti relief scheme is £216 million. A large part, if not all of the funding for this project is anticipated to come from governments and charitable organisations, such as the UNHCR. In order to ensure the smooth running of the project, Gaea have undertaken a SWOT analysis to clearly identify our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats as a business. Gaea has carried out risk assessments to assess possible risks which could cause disruptions to the project. This table encompasses the anticipated severity of risks as categorized by Gaea for the risk assessment. The successful implementation of the Djibouti relief scheme will not only boost Gaea into being the leading company for this niche market, but it will improve without doubt the quality of life of refugees across the world. People are not only the heart of our business, they are the reason we exist. We strive every day to protect the innocent, shelter the vulnerable, and provide a glimmer of hope that tomorrow will be better.